Hey guys, what's up? It's Nick with Program Practical. Coming up with the end of what is today? Wednesday? Yeah, it's end of day 3. Are you still? I've pretty exhausted. Can't keep track of days. I can't believe it's only Wednesday. It feels like I've been here for a week already, like a full week. Um, so yeah, today was awesome. One of the cool things about Big Nerd Ranch is, they believe in, healthy patterns, and you'll hear a lot, especially if you're juniors and just getting into this, you hear a lot of people say like how important diet and exercise is. So they believe that too, and that's why, we go out for walks every day. And helps just clear the mind, get you out there, just kind of reset things. So today we're actually staying at Stone Mountain. We actually did a walk to the top of Stone Mountain. It just absolutely beautiful view. I've not really been to Atlanta before, so it's been kind of cool to see that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, and then today, learning wise, we did a few things. So we ended yesterday with, I have the book in front of me, multi-threading using the operation queue, which is what you should be using. So today we actually dug into the Grand Central Dispatch, which is a threading layer that sits below the operation queue. So this is if the operation queue can't do what you need. There's a few use cases on why you choose one or the other. There's a lot of threading videos out there, but if you guys would like to see a threading video, let me know and I'll kind of break up queue versus the GCD. So I'll show a project of that. That was really cool. Just getting, because typically when I do threading, every time I do threading, it's just dealing with the networking layer. So it was really cool to actually do some threading that was actually just like for performance, and we have a really cool app that kind of shows that off. The other thing we did was we got into OAuth 2 with URL session, which is awesome. I'm a very big advocate for using Apple's APIs and not just throwing third-party apps in just because, well, that's the way I know how to do it. And one of those is very much using the URL session as well as Codable. Now that that's in Switch 4, which I was very happy to hear that Big Nerd Ranch pushes the idea that you should be doing, like, it's not hard to write a networking layer with URL session if you actually know Apple's frameworks. It's not hard to write a networking layer. So you shouldn't be using something like Alamo Fire or even MOA, which is actually a layer on top of Alamo Fire. So now you have to have like a project on a project, and it's so much code that you don't know how it runs. It's whatever. Point is, I'm a big advocate for using URL session. One thing I hadn't done though was kind of learn best practices of OAuth 2 authentication with a URL session. We covered that today, which I was super excited about. We did some stuff with core animation, which was really cool. I've done some animation work already, unfortunately a lot of what we did today wasn't new, but it was always good to get a refresher. And then we actually did some stuff with writing an extension. So we did specifically a share extension, and did like a test where you could share stuff out of like the Notes app, and it would go into our app, which was really cool. Getting into those extensions, I'm really excited to get into stuff like SiriKit. I think it's not officially on the books, but I think it's something we're going to get into tomorrow, like during the open lab portion of the day. But yeah, it's been super fun. Tomorrow we actually get to do graphics programming with Quartz, which I am like over the moon about. I love graphics programming, so I'm excited to dive in deep with iOS graphics programming. So let's show you guys some of the stuff we worked on today and kind of what we did. I won't be able to show the share one because I'm, like I said earlier, using my phone for the recordings. And to do the share, especially with the Note app, you have to do it on your phone. You can't do it in the simulator. So I unfortunately can't do that portion. All right, there we go. All right, so let's see, which one is this? So this is the one that uses Grand Central Dispatch, and essentially goes through all of these and kind of figures out the word count. what am I in right now? The file view. So I'll just show you what this thing does. And we built made it lock safe to deal with just some race conditions. It doesn't happen all the time, but essentially just updates counts only through a lock. You can read as much as you want, but with the rights. So here this goes. Yeah, and so these are all doing their own counts on their own threads, which is super cool. When this first opened up, this thing would take forever to count all of these words. I mean, as you can see, it's like 3 million words. And then what was really cool is, threading is one thing. It's not a big deal. Honestly, we could have done that with the queue layer or the queue operation. I think it's in here. So we handled one especially, but I can't remember what file we put it in. Of course, my phone's blocking part of my screen, so maybe I already was in it and I just didn't realize it. Actually, okay, here it is. Yeah, the dispatch source timer. So what was cool was we wanted to make sure the screen updated properly on every refresh, which is essentially 16 to 17 milliseconds the screen refreshes. The problem is you can't actually make a timer that runs that short. Normally, the normal timer has a lowest limit of I think a few seconds, or maybe not a few seconds, but yeah. Oh, here it is. Yes, start updating. So we actually did a special dispatch source make timer source. So this, we can get into this later on, but essentially this is a kernel level timer. So it's super low and can do stuff that a normal timer can't. In particular, we can actually set this down to the millisecond count and then give it a leeway using microseconds. So we have a timer firing now every 16 milliseconds with a leeway so precise we're able to go down to microseconds. And this just makes sure that on every screen refresh you are getting the freshest numbers. So because the other way, having it actually update, it wasn't updating until things were done, like the actual queues were done, and we wanted that really cool animation, or not animation, but we wanted this to refresh so that you can actually see just the numbers going crazy. And to do that, you had to do it on every refresh. So that's what this does, and it's sending timers down on the kernel level, which is super cool. It's just something I didn't realize you could actually do. So yeah, that was word analysis on our Grand Central Dispatch stuff. So this is the sharing one, which I'm still in the process of actually writing the code for the extension, but that was really cool. Actually, building a project, making a new target for it, and then dealing with the fact that this is how extensions lifespans work, and especially if you do something like SiriKit and stuff, and super excited to get into this more. Unfortunately, I'm still not done with the chapter, super close to getting done. I actually get the token and the username. I just haven't actually done anything with it yet. I have 2 or 3 more pages left, but yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, I can't show that because I have to run it on my phone, which is now recording. So can't show that, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll stop that task. And then the last one was layers of fun. So this was just the core animation layer. Super simple. I mean, in fact, so simple it's on one file. Then this file got edited multiple times. So we were playing around with a bunch of different animations. We were just overriding the animations as we were doing them. So, nothing really, and I started doing towards the end, I was like, oh, I should just comment these out so I can keep playing with them, and I need to see that button. So this is what it does right now. nothing impressive like in terms, but it's really cool just to see like, hey, this is how you can do stuff with key animations, and yeah, like I said, there's I've done, honestly, in my opinion, a lot cooler things with animation, but I love just being able to break this down to show how easy it is to do animations. We did several animations and then chained them together and fired them off so easily. And that's one of the things that, like, when you see apps without animations, you're like, it really is so easy to get animations into an app. And that's why I kind of like that this chapter was so simple, because it just drives home that, like, literally you shouldn't go over the moon with animations, right? There's so easy ways to overdo animations. But just knowing how easy simple animations are opens the door to taking your app from functional to delightful. And that's such an important hurdle to get over to, especially when you're trying to make your app known on the App Store. Apps get big because they're delightful, not because they're functional. Unless you have a super niche market, but then it won't get big on the App Store because it's just a niche app. But yeah, so anyways, guys, that's it for me. I actually have some more stuff to be doing in this book, so I'm going to sign off here, do the quick edits to get this video together, and then I'm going to keep churning through some of this book. So again, I'm Nick with Program Practical, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.